It's Jonathan here for Rich Retirement TV, and today I want to talk to you about my 3 favorite space race stocks. I'm a huge fan of space. My wife is an amateur astronomer. In fact, almost 10 years ago, we went out to the Grand Canyon in the middle of June to a star party where we had a chance to meet with other astronomers who had brought their giant telescopes, and we got a chance to take a look at constellations and all kinds of stuff from all across the galaxy. It was really exciting. But as an investor, I really love these opportunities because they're so high upside. There are not that many publicly traded space companies, so when the opportunities present themselves, there's a rush of capital. Basically, every time there's a SpaceX launch or talk about missions to Mars and whatnot, these stocks have a tendency to move very quickly. Which for retirees or people that are catching up on retirement, these could be kind of one-shot rockets into retirement nirvana, so to speak. Get you caught up real quick. In any event, let's go ahead and dig right into my 3 stocks right now. All right, so the first stock on my list is AJRD. That's Aerojet Rocketdyne Holdings, and they're a big player in the aerospace and defense industry, namely building rockets. NASA is a big customer, particularly on their Mars and other deep space explorations missions. They just reported earnings earlier this week and crushed estimates for both earnings and sales. Right now, they boast a They boast a backlog of revenue of $6.8 billion, which is a very, number one, it's a record for the company, an all-time high, but it also shows the demand for their products. And you take a look at the stock here, and you can see a massive demand spike here in just the last couple of weeks. Let me pull up my tool here. There we go. Yes, you take a look. Stock popped some 15% just on earnings, and you can see here, stock just broke out of a downtrend here. Stock retook its 50-day moving average and has a real opportunity here for post-earnings announcement drift. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a few weeks as earnings season kind of starts to wind down. But this is a stock that could very much appreciate over the next 30 to 60 days, just as momentum shifts back into this stock. I mean, this is a massive move post-earnings on a lot of volume here. So it's not you had a lot of inflow of cash in a short period of time. So this is a name that, again, as we move forward the last 30, 60 days, could continue to blast higher. Take a look at the second stock on my list, Maxar Technologies. This is a name that I followed for a while. I did a video on this stock a month or so ago, and the stock is just done very well. It's a turnaround name. Maxar is a big-time satellite manufacturer and services company, and they're making an Apple-like shift from the hardware, since they're big builders of satellites, into the services sector. They acquired in 2017 a company called Digital Globe. Their president and CEO, Dan Jablonski, was promoted to the CEO of the entire company and has led a shift into the services sector. And I had an opportunity to watch Dan speak at the Satellite 2020 conference back in March, and he spoke very strongly about the need for the company to diversify into the services sector. And having run Digital Globe, he's the man for the job. And now you take a look at that segment, which is the Earth Intelligence segment for Maxar. It's responsible for more than 60% of the company's earnings before their EBITDA, so to speak. So a very, very big driver. And that's really, when you look at technology, the stocks that are, the companies that have services, they're the ones with the higher margins, and they're the companies that can provide the growth that investors need, that they're really looking for, that can justify the valuations that tech stocks have. So big player here. You take a look at this stock. They got earnings coming up on the 4th of August. And the momentum in the stock has been very, very strong. You take a look here. Pull up my tool again. There we go. So you take a look here. In late May, stock popped kind of around. It was around the time of the the SpaceX launch. Every single time a SpaceX rocket goes into space, space companies have a tendency to pop here. But again, like I was saying, Maxar has a lot. They have a lot going for it in general. So this isn't like, it's not a flash in the pan. This is just accelerating a trend of money into the space race. If you take a look here, stock's moving higher on strong momentum off of its lows in March. You see here a golden cross. If you watch my videos a lot, you know I talk about this often. This is a very bullish indicator of shifting momentum. This red line here is the 50-day moving average, which is a shorter term moving average. And this blue line here is the 200-day moving average, which is a longer term average. And when you see the 50-day moving average cross above the 200-day, we call that a golden cross. It's a very bullish indicator that, and when the stock is above both of those trend lines, that's a strong indicator of solid momentum behind a stock as it moves higher. And you take a look here, stock sold off in early July, along with other technology names, but has regained that momentum as we approach earnings. And as we get to earnings, you should note that that Maxar is a big post-earnings player. They've beaten earnings estimates in 2 of the last 3 quarters, and over that span, in the one day following their earnings announcements, they've shown double-digit gains. Back in Q3 of 2019, stock popped 12% after reporting earnings. Q2 2019, they reported a 12% pop, and just in March, when everything was kind of going to hell with the coronavirus crisis, they still showed a 5% pop after beating earnings. So, with a track record of earnings beats and strong post-earnings action, this could be a really nice play for quick upside. If we take a look at the last name on our list, this is a smaller company, but I really like it because of its ability to make big moves. You take a look here. So Orbcom, the stock is Orbcom, ticker ORBC. They are a leader in industrial Internet of Things solutions, mainly machine-to-machine communication. And that's basically, Orbcom has a network of satellites around the globe that allow enterprise customers to connect. Let's say, a construction company that has, heavy equipment all over the world. It allows them to communicate, allow the machines themselves to communicate, get big data going back to the headquarters. They can measure efficiency. They can measure where things need to change. All kinds of stuff. And they've got some really big heavy hitters as customers. Caterpillar uses them, Walmart, Costco, even the United States Postal Service, who does a very good job of tracking the efficiency of their their drivers, their routes, and doing everything they can to save a buck. So Orbcom, their network and their services provide their customers with the ability to do some really big data analysis. And you take a look here. Again, this is another stock that showed that has just presented with a golden cross here. You see that 50-day crossing above the 200-day, and a really nice spike here in the stock. Again, kind of all these stocks kind of popping around the same time, around the time of the SpaceX launch. But the stock is held. It's held above this 200-day moving average after seeing that pop, and they've got earnings in just a few days. The stock's rising ahead of that statement, but yeah, this, I mean, again, this is a name under momentum. You take a look. This is a name that could continue to blast higher. It's more of a speculative play. You see, it's trading for under $5, but it gives you the opportunity to get into a player in the field that's not as expensive as some of the other names. And because it's smaller, because it's a smaller cap stock, it gives you the potential for even bigger gains than bigger companies. It's a lot easier for a company that's, say, $100 or $200 million in size to double or triple than, say, big company like, let's say, Apple, that's already $1 trillion in size. For it to double, it needs to move to $2 trillion. So Orbcom is a small company with a big footprint and a very large addressable market. There are billions of devices that are connected to the internet right now, especially in the enterprise area. So, in the business space. So there's plenty of opportunity for Orbcom to come in and deliver their services that are basically, complete packages, end-to-end solutions. A customer can sign up with them and have everything done for them. Short of the big data analysis that the customer would do themselves, it's one-stop shop for a lot of folks. So big opportunities here, and I love these plays. I mean, the space race is a great opportunity. Not only are these great opportunities for investment, but damn, they're just cool. Who doesn't love space? But again, the three stocks on my list: AJRD, Aerojet Rocketdyne Holdings, Maxar Technologies, that's ticker MAXR, and Orbcom, ticker ORBC. Some big names, and I'll continue to cover the space segment as earnings season rolls on, and give you some of the quick hits or deeper dives as the opportunities present themselves. So thanks so much for watching today's video. I know this one's a little bit on the longer side, but a lot of really great stuff here. And if there's anything in particular you want to see for next week's video or beyond, shoot me a link in the comments here on YouTube, or feel free to send an email. But thank you so much for watching today's video. And for Rich Retirement TV, I'm Jonathan Rodriguez, and we'll see you next week.